Anshul, you can start your start everything now.
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to this info session on Startup with UpGrad. I hope you had a good. I hope it is a good start to the weekend. So the purpose of this info session is primarily to walk you guys through the info session, about the program which is Startup with UpGrad, and talk a little bit, in detail about what the program consists of. How is this program going to help you? I'll also walk you through a small demo on the program later. And briefly, the structure of this info session would be, let's discuss first. How did we, think about this program and entrepreneurship? How did we decide to start a program like this? And then how did we go about building the modules and building the program with the learnings from all the industry professionals and entrepreneurs around the world? And then how did we adapt this program to people who want help in their entrepreneurial journey, who want clarity in their entrepreneurial journey throughout, and then deciding upon how can we help them through this content, right? So what we'll do is, and in this process, feel free to ask questions on the right hand side of your window, and I'll be happy to answer them. And it's important that you ask questions around this. And at the end of it, I hope you get enough clarity on what does this program offer, who is it for, and how can this program help you in your entrepreneurial journey throughout. Yeah. So let's start with a small set of slides which I have, which will basically talk about the structure of the program. And in the latter half of it, I'll just walk you through a small demo, which will give you a good sense of what this program consists of. Yeah. So let's go through a slide. One second, I'll just share my screen with you guys. I hope you can see me now. So the idea of this program, which is called Startup with UpGrad, it's a 15-week entrepreneurship program. The reason why we started this program was we felt that, with the current influx of startups in India, the way the sentiment is, a lot of people are taking up, entrepreneurship as their career choice. And however, a lot needs to be done in this area. We felt that we can help a lot of people out there who do not have enough clarity about their idea, who do not have enough clarity about how do they start this journey and how do they take this forward. And we talked to a lot of entrepreneurs around the world and in India across all famous startups, and we understood that there's a huge scope of educating people about entrepreneurship. However, in this course of talking to these people and prospective students and entrepreneurs, etc., around the world, we were just faced with this big question of can entrepreneurship be taught? Now, and we thought about it a lot for quite a few months, and that was the core question between us that, what is the answer to this? And then we realized after talking to all these people that yes, entrepreneurship can be taught. What can be taught is giving you a heads up on what challenges will you face when you start your journey, what kind of things would you need when you start a journey, how can we help you with information from the people who have been there, done that, what kind of issues did they face, what kind of issues did they face across funding, across scaling up, across finding the right market, across finding those first set of new customers, all of that. Now, these are things which are experiences which if told earlier might help you guys, and hence we thought that we'll structure a program in a manner which is basically very interactive, which is very real life, which is more about doing things than just learning theoretically. And we thought that the final outcome of this program will really help you in terms of how can you structure your thought process, first of all, right from defining the idea till the time you scale the business. So so this is what we came up with, and before this, how we decided about coming up with the structure of 15 modules in the program was we talked to about 20-25 key entrepreneurs of India, whether it's the founders of Ola Cabs, Flipkart, Oyorun, Snapdeal, VisIQ, MuSigma, a lot of these guys, and we took a lot of input from these guys about what are those few things that they would have liked to like to know before they started up, because now that they are successful, they could look back upon how would how would how could it would have been helpful to them if they would have known a few things. And then we talked to a lot of prospective entrepreneurs, about about 150 of them, and understood what kind of problems they are facing in starting up, whether it is to do with legal, whether it is to do with funding, whether it is to do with finding the right set of customers, whether it is to do with digital marketing. All of these things combined together, and these inputs from these guys, we came up with these 15 modules which this program consists of. And if I walk you through the core three sections of the program, the first one is idea validation, which basically a lot of people have a lot of ideas, and as a matter of fact, about lakhs of people might have thought about the same idea which you're thinking of right now. And that's the stage where most people actually fail. It's very important to validate the idea which you have, validate it with the market, validate it with the consumer, validate it with the external environment around you, and see whether the idea is feasible or not. Is it solving a real problem? Is the idea scalable? Can I actually go about doing this? These are the kind of questions which a lot of people have, but there is no direct answer to it. So basis the learnings from all these entrepreneurs, academicians, and industry leaders, who built this module, which basically talks about, how do we identify a need gap in the market? How do you build a vision about your idea? How do you assess the external environmental factors which might influence whether your startup is going to be successful or not? Then the third most important thing is evaluating the right business model. How do you find the product market fit for your idea, which is very important, and most businesses fail there because they could not crack the right business model, right? Then how do you make your idea different? How is the business model going to be different? So these are the kind of things which we'll cover in the first part of the course. The second part, which is scaling up, where again a lot of people struggle, because it's very important to find, first of all, your the first few set of customers, find those people who are early adopters, who have faith in your product, right? And who basically use the product and then help you grow in terms of the business, give you feedback. Now, so the first part basically focuses on how do we build a product, first of all, which is consumer centric. The second part focuses on right from day one, how do you think about building a brand out of your product and not just treat it as a functional product. Then it talks about what marketing mechanisms can you use, again, to start your customer acquisition journey, all the tools and tactics required for digital marketing, right? And yes, team, and a lot of beautiful insights from these entrepreneurs on how do we go about hiring the right team, where would you find them, how should you go about it. Now, these are the kind of things which you will not know otherwise. This is knowledge which resides with these entrepreneurs who have had these experiences. It'll be great for someone to know this firsthand from them and understand, and be in their shoes and see what kind of problems they face. Right? And the third part is which a lot of people have a lot of questions about, because all of us are more or less sort of illiterate in finance and legal and don't understand a lot of things, all the legalities about the business. How do I register my company? Understanding the basics of finance, understanding valuations, understanding term sheets, and then the most important part, which all of us, are worried about, and all of us look forward to, is basically how do you pitch to investors and how do you raise funds. And again, here we'll share a lot of insights from analysts, from VCs, from founders, and these entrepreneurs who have done this, been there, and have raised a lot of money, and they give us their insights on what does it take to raise money. Yeah. And the way we the kind of stakeholders who have helped us build this whole program into these three modules are primarily, first of all, these set of people who are faculty members and industry experts. These are people who have shared a lot of theoretical knowledge with us, which is going to help all you entrepreneurs throughout your journey across all these areas. People from Atul Singh, a professor of UC Berkeley, talking about social entrepreneurship. Pradyot from Zomato, who's assistant vice president at Zomato, talking about a lot of interesting things there. Priyank Sarup, who's the vice president at Axel Partners, talking about investment, funding, pitch, etc. Siddharth Roy Kapoor of Disney, talking about how do you manage a brand, how do you position a brand. Kashyap, who's the CMO of Pepperfry, the largest furniture brand in India, talking about how do you use TV as a medium, how do you scale up your marketing communication, how do you identify which media channels are right for you, right? and Tarun from Matrix Partners, again talking about investment. So all these people have come together and helped us create this content along with us. And these are frameworks and tools which will definitely help you along the journey, right? And then now going beyond just the theoretical part of it, or just just the content of it, how do we basically make it more real life? How do we make it more application based? And that's where all these entrepreneurs come into the picture. Make My Trip, Zomato, ShopClues, MobiKwik, Ola Cab, Savan, VizIQ, Inmobi, Oirooms, Marush, India Property, Fresh Desk, Redbus, Housing, Lenskart, Pepperfry, Zivame, Snapdeal. Now, all these guys is a huge list and many more who would give you not only anecdotal evidence of what kind of issues did they face, but they'll help you think in a way they thought. They will put you in their shoes, give you case studies about their own businesses, and will help you with what kind of problems you might face. And each of them has faced a lot of problems and challenges. They have their own perspective towards starting up. They would have faced a lot of issues across their journey at various stages, and it'll just help you. And you might relate to a few of them, not relate to a few of them. It'll just really help you if you think from their perspective. um, if you put yourself in your shoes, and their shoes, and then understand what did they go through. And all these case studies from these guys will really help you in starting up and solving all those issues beforehand. And it's always good to know what is coming up for me. And that's where a lot of people have questions, because it's a black box and you don't know what might come up in future. Yeah. Then if we talk about the whole structure of the program, which is it's a very structured course, and these are the pillars of the program, where the three most important pillars of these programs are anytime learning, group assignments, and live lectures. Now, by anytime learning, we mean about 2 to 3 hours of content and time is required from you throughout the week, and you could do it from anywhere, whether it's your home, whether it's your office, whether while you're traveling, whether it's from your mobile or from your desktop. Now, this sort of a content would require about 2 to 3 hours of your time in a week. Then the next 3 hours consists of group assignments, where you will be working with people and peers across the world, whether it's from US, from Sri Lanka, people from Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Dubai. All these people coming together with their questions about their own startups, their own learnings from their experiences. Some of them have started up. What kind of issues are they facing? Now, these are the kind of things which will really help you, and it's a very unique opportunity to interact with people around the world who are just about to start up. Now, these assignments will again take about 2 to 3 hours of your time in a week. Then the next 1 or 2 hours in a week are going to be on weekends, which are going to be live lectures from our faculty members. These are live lectures which we definitely recommend you to attend, and we definitely would want you to ask a lot of questions in these live lectures about the content that you would have gone throughout the week. These lectures will definitely uh, help you clear all your doubts, apart from obviously the discussion forums we have on the platform. uh, these are lectures which are highly recommended, because these are from people who would have very renowned people across the industry. Apart from that, we have about a lot of industry hangouts and mentoring sessions from head of marketings of various companies, CMOs of various companies, VPs of finance, etc. Now, these are people specific to industry who will really help you in gaining a perspective on, from industry standpoint, from your particular category or industry. You might really relate to these guys, and they will also help you walk you through your business idea and the kind of challenges you might face at each of these stages. And throughout these 15 weeks, they will have a lot of mentoring sessions with these guys, whether it's a mentoring session with a marketing head or with a finance head, across all these three areas of idea, scaling up, and finance. you will really need a lot of support, and these are the guys who are going to really help there. Then the last part of it is networking, which is very important, and I think one of the key benefits of this program is is your ability to network with your peers across the world who are starting up, your your opportunities to network with industry professionals, opportunities to network with academicians, opportunities to network with prospective investors. Because at the end of this program, we are going to have demo day, and on that demo day, rather you'll be allowed to pitch to a set of selected set of students will be allowed to pitch to a set of investors, and that's where if it really works out, it can be really beneficial for you guys. And throughout this program, if we talk about all these modules, throughout this there'll be a business plan tracker for you, which will basically track your performance across each module. It will track all the questions, discussions, answers given by you throughout the program, and it will just help you measure, you know, across the program at what stage you are at and how you performing, and our UpGrad team and our mentors from across the industry will kind of review it and help you fine tune it if you're lagging behind somewhere. And these are the kind of personal things which really helps entrepreneur in the early stages of his business, right? And beyond that, there are a lot of offline meetups as and when required, which we'll organize with industry professionals, meetups between students in primarily metro cities, which is Bombay, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and possibly Chennai, where however we do encourage 100% of these programs being since majority of it is being online, we do encourage that all of you spend most of the time online. However, as and when required, we would definitely organize a lot of offline events for the students and for the mentors to interact with you. And we have had some very interesting sessions in the last batch where people have shown a lot of interest in and attended these sessions with these mentors, and has really helped them clear their doubts during the course, right? So broadly, this is what the course is all about. Now you must be thinking that this is something which it's very generic in nature. How does it actually look, and how do I actually experience all of this? So let me just kind of walk you through a small demo, and what we'll do is I'll just walk you through to one or two modules in the program, which will really help you in understanding how does the platform look. So this is how the platform currently looks. There are about these 15 modules in this program. This is how the page looks. There are individual sessions within each of these modules, where these are subsections within the session. A lot of it is video content, it's textual content, there are quizzes, there are a lot of interactive questions, there are case studies from companies in each of these modules. So all the entrepreneurs we talked about 25-30 of them, all of them have individual case studies at the relevant stage in the course, which will definitely give you a much better idea of real life scenarios than just theoretical understanding. So let's just walk through one of the videos which we have, which basically talks about how do you identify the idea and how do you make sure that the idea is something which is scalable and is relevant to the consumers. So let's just walk through this video for a while, and then I'll just walk you through the other part of the demo.
Look at the example of Savan. I was just thinking about why I downloaded the music app Savan.
I think there's something, the video was buffered, but it's somehow so. Okay, so I'll get back to this in a while. Let's just, sorry for this, let this buffer for a bit. So what this video basically talks about is it talks about a case study from Savan, it talks about a case study from Redbus, it talks about insight from the founders of Fresh Desk. It helps you understand from each of these startups perspective, that what kind of problems did they face, what kind of pain points did they solve. Let's say Savan, for example, solved the pain point of music not being digitally accessible in South Asia. Redbus not being able to, the pain point they solved was not being able to get a bus ticket at the right time. The pain point Fresh Test solved was poor customer support services. Now, all these ideas and opportunities they identified, but how did they build that into an idea which was scalable, the idea which genuinely solves a problem, is something which is really going to help you, instead of just just identifying the idea and not validating it. Now, once you go through the video, there are a lot of these questions which are around the concepts taught in the video. This will really help us in understanding your progress, also help you in synthesizing all this information which you have gained, within this module. And at any point during this course, if you really feel that you have a lot of questions and you need help from fellow members or from the UpGrad team, you can just click on this blue button and you will be directed to this discussion forum, which is basically a forum for all the students within a batch, and the UpGrad teaching assistants. Now, these are guys where you can ask any question which you would want answers from either from your peers or from the UpGrad team directly. So let's say Sahil Agarwal has asked a question on, hi, I'm working on a fintech idea and don't have much idea about app development, so I want to know how can I enhance my knowledge to understand what is required for me. Now, this question has been answered by 11 peers of his, and if we really feel that the answer given by the peers is relevant, then you would see this green mark here, which is verified by the course TA, which basically the teaching assistant has verified that this is a piece of information which is genuine and it has solved the question. And also you could direct the questions directly to us, and we'll make sure that during our hangout sessions we try and answer all the questions you have in the discussion forums. And this is something which we really encourage you to use, because that's where a lot of interaction with your peers will happen, and also help us engage you guys in the process and understand your performance as well. Yeah. So let's see if this video kind of works now. Just a second. Yeah. So this one is let's skip to this for now. Let's just wait if that. So this basically talks about fundamentals of search engine marketing. It talks about how do you set up an account structure, how do you choose campaigns, how do you identify those keywords. Let's just walk through a sample of this video and see if
marketing process. Let's take a step back and look at the broad overview. We started with setting up your own account, then understanding the type of marketing campaign you want to run. The next step, and probably the most important one, is going to be identifying and using the right keywords for your marketing campaign. By keyword research, I mean you need to understand how people are searching for your category, what is the terminology people use, how do they interact with the category. For that, there are various tools available where you can go and check how are people searching for your category, what is the volume of searches, how many people are searching in one day, in 1 month, in 1 year.
So sorry for this. I think the video is not buffered, but the idea here is, as you could see, a lot of these industry professionals will talk about each of these topics, right from search engine marketing to SEO to social media marketing to display marketing, and all these pieces are tailored to startups, and I think that's the beauty of this program, that each of these modules which you have seen are modules which are tailored for the startups. Even when we talk about search engine marketing, these are questions which will be which will resonate well with the startup, instead of them just being a generic question. So for your startup idea, do a keyword research on the Google keyword tool, and basis the search results, list the keywords that you want to bid on. Now this will really instigate you to actually manually do things and figure out for your startup what kind of keywords are people searching for. Similar to this, across the modules in each of these sections, there'll be such interactive questions which you would need to answer, and we will then evaluate that as a part of the business plan tracker, and give you feedback on that and help you, you know, as you go along, right? Now, so this is a very small demo of what the platform typically looks like. Um, I'll just try and see if I can run this video again for you. Um,
Let us look at the example of Sawan. I was just thinking about why I downloaded the music app Sawan. You remember this feeling whenever you walk out of a movie and listen to a good song? You want to listen to it immediately.
okay, I'm so sorry. I think there is a problem with the buffering. So. So yeah, so what we basically so what we basically saw here was, you know, that how the platform looks, what kind of modules do we have, and you know, how can it really help you across your journey. I would try and send you these demo videos if possible, because there were some issues here. But the idea of these videos was, you know, how do these people talk in depth about each of these topics, and you know, along the way, at a particular stage of your startup, how they can, you know, help you. So I think it's time if we answer a few questions, you know, the kind of questions people have. Um, so I'll just pick up these questions one by one, and I'll also see if there are any other questions um, apart from these. Uh, just give me a moment. So, so I think so. Kanika had asked a question called, you know, to the head of marketing. I'd like to ask if I'm a complete novice to marketing, especially marketing. What tools, technology can I use? So I think these are the specific kind of questions which this program will answer, and exactly these kind of questions. Because when you just start up, these are the questions that you have, and you are worried about, if I am a complete novice within this field, how will I do it? This program basically addresses these kind of questions, and within the marketing module of this program, you'll actually learn what kind of tools and technologies can you use specifically to a startup. How do you use these tools and technologies to scale up your business? What is more relevant to you? Which are the most cost effective channels? How can you think about low cost marketing for startups? Now, uh, so these are the kind of questions which will be answered by the program. Yeah, and I would recommend, if you guys walk through this, you know, whatever I have walked you through this, you just think about it and see where does this question fit within all these modules. These questions will be answered. Yeah. So Aditya had asked, how can UpGrad help my team and I? As I just said, you know, it can help you across various things. It can help you with streamlining your idea, synthesizing your idea, helping you in kind of validate your idea with respect to scale and relevance. It can help you with identifying your first set of customers. It can help you with insights about consumers. It can help you with how do I go about you know, setting up a pilot. How do I go about starting my marketing? You know, and then how do I establish my company? What are the rules of funding? How do I pitch to investors, and all of those things. So basically, at the end of this program, you should be equipped with knowledge which other entrepreneurs who start with might not have, because you have possibly learned from entrepreneurs who have been there, done that, across their lives, and this learning will definitely help you in preempting a lot of things, right? If you are aware of what kind of people should I hire or not hire, if you're aware of what kind of tools and technology should I use to start up with, what kind of growth hacking techniques should I use, when I'm just starting up. And also not just theoretical, these are kind of things which people would have used in real life, and you relate to that and then apply it to your own startup. That's something which can really help you. Yeah. Mohit is how can this help me to raise funds from my startup? Now, so funding, obviously, it depends on a lot of things. It depends on the quality of your idea. It depends on the scalability of the idea. It depends on the ability of the team. Now, especially on the first two parts on synthesizing the idea into a proper scalable business, helping you understand the marketing fundamentals, helping you understand the finance fundamentals. These are the kind of things which will add up and then help you in raising funding for your startup. And also at the end of our program, if you are selected amongst those few who would get a chance to pitch to prospective investors, then possibly it might be a good opportunity for you there, right? Sriram had asked, I am working to set up small business model that will create entrepreneurs who in turn would provide employment to people. Would you able to fund my venture after due assessment? So I think so. This program is not for funding ventures, but it's more for people to get clarity on their journey, to help people establish their startup and get it up and running. And if all the parameters or the idea is good enough, then automatically you qualify for funding. But we are primarily not the ones who are going to fund your startup. Right? Deepak has asked, how does this program help, as there are online sessions only? So the whole idea of this program was actually to keep it completely online, because it allows you accessibility from anywhere, your home office, whether you're traveling or not. Plus, it gives you a lot of interaction with your peers across the world, which you might not have otherwise. If you are sitting in Bangalore and attending a classroom program in Bangalore, you might not get insights from people working in Bombay, Hyderabad, Dubai, US, for that matter, any other country in the world. And it just helps it make more interactive within the peers. And secondly, although 90% of the courses online, 10% of it we still try and keep it offline, primarily for helping you answer queries with industry leaders and mentors. And we feel that online delivers whatever we would otherwise expect from an offline classroom course. So and it's just more or less it's all about content and the quality of content, which we are fairly comfortable about. And hence it doesn't matter whether the session is online or offline. Yes. So if there are any other questions, then possibly we can answer them. I don't think there are any other questions right now. So yeah, so thanks guys for this info session, for listening to me. So sorry for a few technical glitches, the videos did not work. If any one of you wants to access that demo, I'll really recommend you to go to the website and click on request a demo on the Startup with UpGrad page, and we'll send you a link and a password for the demo platform, and you can yourself go through all the sessions, get a sense of how do they look like, what kind of videos do we have, what kind of pedagogy do we have for those modules and sessions. So once again, really sorry for that glitch, but I still think you got a fair sense of what the program is all about, and hope to see you with us very soon. Thank you guys. Bye bye.